I grew up in St. Petersburg, Florida, to a single mom who was very, very ill. By the time my mom was like hospital bound, my sister before me was basically taking care of us at like 15 and 16 years old. And we were not living in really good circumstances. My light was my godparents, who eventually adopted me in 2004 after my mom passed away. School had just always been the constant good. I knew that the teachers would be nice. I knew my principal was welcoming. I knew food was there. I knew that the classroom would be clean. It was just the guaranteed good in my life. I remember every single teacher I've ever had because they were such an influence and such a light to me. And that's why I became a teacher.
I am always very inspired by her because she is who I strived to be at that time.
I went to school, graduated from UNF in 2017 with my bachelor's in special education. I taught for 4.5 years. I kind of realized the change that I really want to see in schools is not happening from the classroom. I left because the change that I thought should happen in education was being made in rooms that I wasn't in as a teacher. And so I got my master's in public policy with a focus in education policy because I see myself reflected in the children that I taught. And so in order to create equity in education, that's what put me on the path towards policy, advocacy. One part of 904's advocacy work is education. And so I'm really excited that we're gearing up for that and to be able to combine my passion for policy with education and community work.
What sparked me about Rhianna was she was very knowledgeable about the space that she was so passionate about, public policy. But she was also just characteristically a great human.
I never saw myself in politics. It was just always very icky to me, but my first professor in the program, Rick Mullaney, said if you care about social change, you care about public policy. And that class alone propelled me to say, well, holy crap, like it's in everything. No matter what we do, whether we pay attention to it or not, we cannot separate ourselves from policy. It's how we operate day to day.
I don't know if Rhianna has political aspirations, but I know that public policy is important to her. And I know that people in our community who are underserved and underprotected are important to her. So I can see her standing on the shoulders of our first female mayor at some point in the future and serving her community in that way.
My background in teaching and my personal background really gave me the opportunity to write policy from an empathetic perspective. It drove me to write policy with the human in mind, with the heart in mind, with the child's life on the line. When I was first approached about the job, it was community equity manager. And I was like, Kim, that's great, but can I put policy in there? And so I rewrote the entire job description. I changed the title, I added in policy work, and I sent it back and I was like, can I do this? And they were like, we have never seen someone sign up for more work, but sure, if that's what you want to do.
Rhianna is very bold. She's courageous. And she often inspires me to go beyond my own greatest strengths to be even more bold and courageous myself.
Some of the people that have influenced me, number one, my husband, for sure. Every day he's just so supportive of me. And then my parents, of course, and my mentors such as Dr. Allen or Coretta Hill at United Way, Rachel Tutwiler Fortune. They are just three powerhouses that when I think of the power of Black women in Jacksonville, I cannot exclude them from the conversation. I also hope in 10 years that Jacksonville has reckoned with its history and that we are ready to have honest conversations about the history of our city. I would like to thank my husband, first and foremost, for being my biggest support and my biggest and best friend throughout this journey. Secondly, my parents who have modeled what a humanitarian is, who have shown me what it's like to open your door to people, to pour out to your community, to stay late at meetings Dad. And I would also like to thank my mentors, Coretta, Dr. Kimberly Allen, and Rachel Tutwiler, who have shown me what it's like to have leadership in the city, to have Black woman leadership in the city. And I would like to lastly thank my niece for constantly being a source of inspiration and motivation for me to keep going. And of course, my friends, Nicole, thank you for nominating me for this award. Drika, Sierra, and Felicia, who's my big sister. You guys hear all of my complaints and celebrate all of my wins with me, so thank you. And OneJax for the Humanitarian Award and all the good work that you are doing in our community. Thank you.